Hey guys, Jim here from DrinkABeerandPlayAGame. I love video pinball games, so I decided, hey, why don't we take a look at all the ones in my collection? And today we're going to start with my oldest one, Video Pinball on the Atari 2600. Let's take a look. Released in 1980, this was developed and published by Atari and was programmed by Bob Smith. This is a very, very, very loose representation of what video pinball actually is. To be fair, it somewhat looks like a table. You have flippers and bumpers and some spinners, and you can even get an extra ball if you hit the Atari logo 4 times. There's some targets you can hit. They tried with this. But, I mean, look at it. There's not even any circles on screen. Everything's boxy. It's an early title, I'll give it that, but not super duper early, so they could have done a little bit more work on it. Although, to be fair, the physics of the ball, while it does go all over the place, it's kind of better than I expected. Control-wise, it's almost entirely with the stick. If you move left, you hit the left flipper. If you move right, you hit the right flipper. Hitting up does both flippers, and holding down is how you pull back on the plunger, in which you hit the action button to shoot the ball. And with the action button, if you hold it and you move the stick around, you can tilt the table. So they tried to include as much pinball stuff in there as you can, but what you see is what you get. And to be honest with you, the game almost plays itself, because when you launch that ball, it's just going to go everywhere. It's going to go all over. Control is almost impossible, and you really need to just live off the tilt, basically. Because the plungers, or I should say the flippers, you are barely going to use them. It's a weird game. You don't get a lot of actual input with it, but I weirdly had fun with it. It is certainly not a perfect game of pinball. For what it is, I was expecting worse, to be honest with you. It's super cheap to find. I got it for 75 cents, I think. And I would honestly say don't spend more than $1 or $2 on this. It's not for hardcore pinball fans. It's really not for people who want to establish a overall greatest games collection for the Atari. It's really more if you're interested in the Atari and you like picking up random goofy games and you have $1 to burn. I can't say I recommend it, but if you do get it, you might be like me and have some weird fun with it. As far as beer pairing goes, you can drink anything with this because you're going to have time to drink. Because once you launch that ball, you can sit back with the most flavorful, high alcohol content stout in the world, and you can just sit and really examine the flavors before you even need to hit the flippers. If you're in the mood to chug beer and get really drunk, get those light crappy beers and chug away. If you want to savor a beer, launch the ball, sit back and enjoy. So at the end of the day, is this worth picking up for your collection? Not really. I mean, it's dirt cheap, so you can pick it up for under $1. If anyone tries to charge any more than that, just walk away. And I really can't recommend it to pinball fans. Can't really recommend it too much to video game fans in general. But if you're trying to fill out an Atari 2600 collection, there's worse games out there. So if you see it for cheap, might as well pick it up and put it on your shelf. That'll do it for today, guys. Have you ever played this? Or are there any other pinball games in the Atari that I don't know about? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.